This phenomenal heroine from history is Joan of Arc, a heroic leader for women and will create a massive advancement for the perception of women throughout history to come past her life in 1431. Let me take this moment to clarify. This is not Joan of Arc. This is not Joan of Arc. That was Noah's Ark. This is Joan of Arc, an influential leader, divine visionary, and military leader setting an example for women to know that they can be effective leaders. Joan of Arc is also a saint in the Catholic religion for her divine visions and contributions of faith and devotion to Christianity throughout her persecution within her trial. Numerous examples would come later as a result of the efforts of Joan of Arc. An example is the story of Gabrielle Salange in 1763 from the Philippines, as she assumed her husband's position as the leader in the revolt against Spain, granting her the title Philippine Joan of Arc. Sadly, the advancements of Joan of Arc came at the expense of her death by being burned at the stake in the center of the marketplace on May 30th, 1431. She was accused of the crimes of apostasy, heresy, idolatry, and dressing in men's clothes. Apostasy is the abandonment or renunciation of one's religious or political beliefs. Heresy is the speaking of one's belief or opinion that is contrary to the Christian doctrine. Idolatry is the extreme admiration, love, or reverence for something or someone. And the wearing of men's clothes was a restriction placed upon women not to cross or overstep the established gender roles. In consideration of the trial of Joan of Arc, it is the most well documented trial of the 15th century. However, the documentation and the result of the trial cannot be extrapolated to the comparison of any other time period because the information and perspectives are presented from the man's perspective with little to do with Joan of Arc's actual verification. Therefore, Joan of Arc's verdict and justification were not based upon reality, but the example that could be made of Joan of Arc to keep women suppressed. Her trial was not meant to prove innocence or guilt, right from wrong, but to maintain the patriarchal society and remove the threat that Joan of Arc posed. Joan of Arc did the unexpected. She was a woman who could have first hand experience and have her voice be recognized by her male counterparts in her military efforts, religious understanding and divine visions, and political influence. Through the example set by Joan of Arc, she was able to establish a firm example of a strong woman in leadership for the rest of history. To remember her efforts, Joan of Arc was not a martyr, but an influential leader who took a stand for her faith and became a leader out of the fray.